They say everything is politics, and that would include birthday greetings too. The past week has shown us how. Look at the social media posts of the Indian Prime Minister. He wished US President Biden on America's Independence Day, but he sent no greetings to Chinese President Xi Jinping on the CCP's 100th birthday party. And today the Prime Minister has used another birthday greeting to send a message. This greeting was for the Dalai Lama, the Tibetan spiritual leader who lives in India and is celebrating his 86th birthday. They spoke on the phone. Then Prime Minister Modi tweeted about it. The Dalai Lama responded with these words.
Since I became a refugee, now settled in India, I fully utilize India's freedom and religious harmony. So I want to assure to you, the rest of my life, I fully committed this work.
He's expressing his commitment to India. Now, this is not the first time that an Indian Prime Minister has greeted the Dalai Lama. So why is this headline news? Because this is the first public exchange in 6 years. It's a clear policy shift for India. And with this birthday greeting, India has stirred the Tibet pot. You see, India has always engaged with the Tibetan leadership, but the government has always been careful about what it shares with the public. The fact that the Prime Minister himself tweeted about it is as clear as a message gets, that India is no more shy of taking a stand on Tibet. Look at the recent past. In 2019, the Indian Prime Minister sent a private greeting to the Dalai Lama, but he made no public statements. The last time a public acknowledgement was made was in 2015. That's when the Dalai Lama wished Prime Minister Modi a happy birthday and the Prime Minister tweeted his thanks. So today was the first such exchange since 2015. And this policy shift was seen across the board. It wasn't just the Prime Minister. Union ministers and chief ministers from India's ruling party, the BJP, also wished the Dalai Lama. So here's a question. Why this shift and why now? India and China have had a rocky relationship of late, and that's an understatement. In 2018, after the Doklam standoff, there was a reset summit in Wuhan. Modi and Xi met and decided to not air their differences in public. But China did not honor that promise. The last straw, perhaps, was the unprovoked attack against Indian soldiers in Galwan. And still, India did not leverage Tibet. Look at India's statements in the last 2 years. It has not blamed China for the Wuhan virus like some countries have. It has not questioned the national security law in Hong Kong. It has not raised human rights violations in Xinjiang. It has not officially changed its policy on Taiwan. In fact, India is still calling the Quad an informal alliance, not a military group to counter China. India has honored its commitments, while China has violated India's sovereignty and tested its strategic patience. So at what point do you decide that enough is enough? India's retaliations have been economic, military and diplomatic. But will India's plan now include leveraging Tibet? Well, the Prime Minister has made a start, and the messaging has been sustained. Last week, the Chinese Communist Party celebrated its 100th birthday, the biggest event in China this year. India completely ignored the celebrations. No statement from the Ministry of External Affairs, no messages from the Prime Minister. Then on Sunday, Prime Minister Modi sent his greetings to Washington. He wished the American leadership on the 4th of July, the 245th Independence Day of America. And in his message, the Prime Minister mentioned how India and America share the same democratic values of freedom and liberty, something that China hardly values. Beijing would have noticed that tweet and also today's phone call with the Dalai Lama. And it won't be happy about any of this. Well, China has only itself to blame for the way things are playing out. Despite everything, its border claims and military aggressions know no bounds. Last week, we told you about how the PLA has stepped up its deployments in eastern Ladakh. Now let's show you this. The Global Times has put out this video. It was released this weekend. It says that this is from eastern Ladakh, where Chinese soldiers still remain deployed. These soldiers celebrated the birthday of the Communist Party by arranging themselves in the shape of the party emblem and the years 1921 and 2021 to symbolize the centenary. On a nearby rock, there is a message in Mandarin. It reads, "Never yield an inch of land." Meanwhile, in Beijing, the officer behind the border provocations is being rewarded. Reports say that Xi Jinping has promoted Su Chiling from Lieutenant General to General. Now, this man is in charge of the PLA's Western Theatre Ground Forces. These are troops that guard China's border with India. Su Chiling is now one of the youngest generals in the PLA. A general, by the way, is the highest rank that active officers can get in China. So what's the message from China? Promotion for the man behind the Galwan clash. Instead of disengagement, deployment of more troops. China is raising the risk of another escalation at the border with India. If there was ever a right time for India to play the Tibet card, it is now. India must not hesitate from pressing Beijing where it hurts the most. Not just for its own strategic purposes, but also for the Tibetans who continue to be victims of China's cultural genocide. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.